DawnDares2Dream, I like to inspire and motivate adults to dream again. Because as we go through life and take on our different roles and responsibilities, we tend to put our dreams on the back burner. And my goal here at DawnDares2Dream is to help you pick those dreams back up and to pursue them again. Now, I want you to understand, I started DawnDares2Dream because I wanted to relay my message and my heart and my feelings across to whomever would listen. It can be difficult getting your closest family and friends to understand the way that you believe and when you try to express it and share it. So this was like my backdoor way into letting everybody know. Now, I may have lost some viewers as a result of that because they don't agree, and that's fine. I am definitely a proponent of everyone having their own thoughts, their own process, their own mindset that works for them. Your religion works for you, you keep that. No one's telling you to get rid of that. Whatever it is that works for you, continue to use it. I'm just saying that sprinkle some of this other information on it, this personal development information that I'm providing you, and see where your life takes you and how you take off personally. Always remember, we are in control of how we see our environment. I don't care what everyone says it looks like or everyone says it is. We are in control of how we choose to perceive the environment. Hey dreamers, welcome back. And welcome to all the new dreamers who stopped by DawnDares2Dream today to see what we're all about. Well, we are on the series where I'm talking about we have the power to change our lives. You have the power to change your life. I have the power to change my life. And what I'm doing is I'm going through my life story and showing you or explaining to you the pivotal points where I made decisions that impacted my life in a major way. And today we're going to go through like my high school years. These were very interesting years. I'm quite sure everyone's high school years are very interesting. And I just want to elaborate on some choices that I made that were that could have led me down a different path. But then I had my angels, I call them, that came and helped me to make a better decision. Because it's all about the choices that we make in life. And granted, I'm going way back and talking about instances in my life, when I was younger, right? But what I'm intending to do here is to show you how in those moments where you know that this is a pivotal decision for you, or that this may have a major impact on your life, the choice that you make, the direction that you take, stop and really think about it before you fall off that cliff, I'm gonna say. Let's dive right into it. I went to Baltimore City College High School. Now, this is a college preparatory school. I only went to this school because my best friend was going to a college preparatory high school. We went to a magnet, we're going to call it, program middle school. It really wasn't, but that's what I'm going to call it because that's the closest thing that they have today to the type of middle school that I went to. And so we were making a choice on where we wanted to go to high school. And everybody was picking these college preparatory schools, so I did. Again, I followed the leader. I told you I'm really good at following the leader. If you've been following my my YouTube series, I forget which one I talked about it in, but I know that I didn't always have the proper direction to do certain things in my life or didn't know where I was going. So what I would do is follow the leader for people around me. Luckily for me, the people who were around me were people going in the right direction. I had picked some really good friends. Those are friends that picked me. I don't know. So, she was picking college preparatory school. So was other girls I was hanging out with. So I said, okay. So I picked Baltimore City College. Actually, I think I picked it as my third choice, maybe. She was going to Western, and then there was the Polytech Institute, right? And that all these are college preparatory schools. And I wanted to go to high school with her, but it didn't work out. I got into City, she got into Western, and we remain friends. We're still friends to this day. But while I was at school is where I started to gain my independent thinking. Before that, I was going to church and I was asking questions, but I wasn't necessarily an independent thinker. I just kind of questioned what was before me and the religion that was before me and the rules that we needed to follow to get to heaven. Because some of those things I just didn't quite understand or didn't make sense to me. So I get to school, and in ninth grade, we have I have Mr. Edwards. He's my English teacher, and we had a topic for each quarter. There were 4 quarters. We had a topic for each quarter, and the first quarter was what is truth. And as I'm with Mr. Edwards with what is truth, I also have a computer teacher. What's his name? Mr. Schreider or Shiner or Shriner or something like that. I can't remember, but he was an atheist, okay? So this was like a novel concept to me because, again, I grew up Christian my entire life, Apostolic Holiness, Pentecostal Christian, so atheist, what is that? So I have him as a computer teacher, and I have this what is truth thing going on. And between the two things, I came up with the fact that my truth was that I believed in God and that I was always going to believe in God, and I did not have an issue with dying and finding out there was no God because I enjoy living the life that I did, that I chose. I chose to be a Christian. No one forced it upon me. It was something that I chose. So I liked the choice that I had made. And that's kind of what I came up with. What is truth between having Mr. Evans as an English teacher and then having the computer teacher that I had, being an atheist and all, it kind of fortified my belief in what I chose to believe in. Now, granted, that has morphed and changed a little bit to this day, but I still hold on to some of those base beliefs that have gotten me through my life. Now, as I'm thinking about, the what is truth, I also joined, we had a cultural group for African-American, culture kind of thing. It was called Emoji Sasa. And I was a part of this group. I didn't really participate. I kind of was just there, but I learned a lot about different books that I could read about African-American history and our culture and where we've come from. And so I enjoy being in this group. I don't know if I was in a group in 9th grade, but I know by the time I was in 12th grade, I was in this group. And so by the time we get to 12th grade, I'm questioning more my Christian stance on things. Not that I don't believe in God, but I wasn't too sure about this book called the Bible, that was written and that was supposed to be inspired by God, because I know that individuals, men and women, we can put our little spin on things, and I can get that God maybe inspired it, but we're human beings and we have choices that we can make. And I believe that the authors of the Bible kind of put their own little spin on things. So I don't take everything for face value, but there is a lot of history that aligns with the Bible that if you take world history and you pay attention, you're like, oh, that's in the Bible. This is the Bible. So I do believe that there is truth in the Bible. I just also believe that there probably is some type of manly spin on what was written. But that being said, I started to read all these other books, and I began to come more into myself, who I am, as you see today. So my journey on educating myself about being a human being that can make choices for herself started, I'm going to say, in high school, and reading those books and educating myself on my Black heritage. It actually made me very, very proud to be a Black American or African American reading the different books that I read. Now you say, what kind of books did you read? Okay, I do remember 2 in particular. I don't remember them all. But The Miseducation of the Negro is a very huge, it's a very popular book. You can look it up. You can probably buy it on Amazon. Also, there is the ISIS Papers. Now, I don't know how popular ISIS Papers is because of the take on Black and white people in America and what they're saying about the white race and the Black race. Might not be as popular as Miseducation of the Negro, but it's also a good read as well. So those are 2 books that really stand out to me that I remember, that I can recall from the top of my dome. But anyway, so as I got educated, I realized that I could make life what I wanted it to be. And I came from great people. I just wasn't product of slavery. And with the Miseducation of Negro, it taught me that I have been taught a lot of things that are supposed to be beautiful, that are supposed to be right. But what does that have to do with me as a Black person in America, a Black woman in America? Did it make me feel proud? Did it make me want to love myself? Media and just the images that we saw. And that's when I realized that, I am beautiful, I am awesome, and I come from awesomeness. And I think it's very important for everyone to be able to tap into some sort of history about who they are and where they come from, because it helps for you to build up that pride in yourself so that you can go out here in this world and conquer your dreams and your goals. Now I've told you all the good things about high school for me, so let me tell you a little bit about how I almost didn't graduate. Remember, I am bipolar through all of these stories I'm telling you, and I don't know it. So all throughout my schooling, I was depressed a lot, which manifested in me just sleeping a lot and not wanting to go to school. So when I was up on the high part of my swing, I was in school doing well, making good grades. When I was sad and low and depressed, I was just in the bed. My mother couldn't do anything to get me out of the bed. She used to try to pull me out the bed, make me go to school. I wouldn't go. So I've missed a lot of school throughout my schooling. I've missed a whole lot. So I've missed a lot of my high schooling as well. So it comes time to graduate, and this is the last quarter of my senior year. I decide to just stay home and sleep. Again, the depression has set in, and so I was just home sleeping, and I was about to not graduate. Now, granted, I've gotten all the way to 12th grade. Can graduate. Just do the work. Just go to school. You'll graduate. And I wasn't graduating because I was depressed. But I had my angel, Miss Johnson. She was my math teacher for like 2 or 3 math classes, I believe. She actually had me one year and then kept picking me to be in her classes after that, because she knew that I needed a teacher like her who really cared. She knew that I needed that push. She was my angel in high school. So she calls me, because I used to work with her in the school store. So we were really, really close. And so she calls me and she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm not going to graduate. I'm not worried about it. Whatever, whatever. And she saw something special in me. So of course she says, no, you are going to graduate. This teacher took it upon herself to talk to all of my teachers, to talk to probably the principal, the counselor, whoever she needed to, so that I could graduate. She talked to everybody. And then I showed up, got my cap and gown, and I graduated. But it was almost a choice that I didn't make. Can you imagine what my life would have looked like? Because I was going to college. I had already applied to college, I do believe, and I had got accepted to a local university, Morgan State University. So I was going to college. But if I don't graduate high school, then I got to go get a GED and all of these things. Or I have to repeat the 12th grade, I guess. Maybe I could have. I don't know. But anyway, so she does all this wonderful, great work for me, crusading for me. And she even gave me, guys, $100 when I graduated. I thought that was the sweetest thing ever. It was like, she knew that I really didn't have any real support, you know? And, I had my church family and that kind of thing, but, you know, from my mom pushing me to do things or whatever, she knew I didn't have that parental guidance. In all of my schooling, she had never met my mother. And we had plenty of parent-teacher conferences where parents were invited to come to the school and talk to the teachers, and my mother never came. I don't even know if I ever told her, because she never participated in my education except when I got in trouble and she had to go to get me put back in school when I got suspended. You know, in middle school, I did a lot of fighting. So I used to get suspended a lot, and my mother had to go to school. Other than that, I don't recall my mother going to school. Now, granted, it could be been her work schedule, so I don't want to put it all on her in a negative sense. She could have been working, and then I don't think I told her a lot. But I remember one time, to do a little sidebar, my Uncle Joe, I told him they had the parent-teacher thing at school. And I think I was living with them at this point for some reason. Maybe we got evicted or something. I was there with them for a small period. And my Uncle Joe was like, let's go. And he went to my parent-teacher conference. I was so impressed by that. And it meant so much to me that he had done that, because no one has ever shown up for me for in my education except my dad when I lived, you know, with him in Houston. But, you know, in Baltimore, no one really paid any attention to that. It just wasn't something that was on the radar. And as far as my church family was concerned, the one thing on the radar was going to heaven and getting raptured when Jesus came back. And so that was really like the focus. So my education and how bright I wasn't. I didn't really get, in my opinion, any attention for my intelligence, we're going to say. So as you can see, and you know, that high school, teenage years for me, I don't know if I 100% chose the right thing, the right course to change my life, but I was influenced by people. I was influenced by my best friend to go to college preparatory high school. I was influenced by the other students who were in my high school to go to college. I was influenced by my teacher to graduate. But in all of those places where I was influenced, I could have just said no. And can you imagine the different course maybe my life would have taken? We always have the power to change our lives, even when we don't know we do. Because then I didn't know I had a real choice. I didn't know I had any power. To be honest, I didn't know how I was going to afford to go to college. I didn't know how I was going to live, I really didn't know. But we always have the power of choice. And if you're watching this video, then you know you have the power of choice, because I'm telling you, you have the power of choice. No matter how bad your life looks, no matter what the course it is that you're on, there's always that chance that you can meet that right individual who will help to steer you back on the right path. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below with any questions that you may have. There's a share button with an arrow. Click on that and share this to your social media platform like Facebook. Also, my face is going to be up here in a circle. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, you can click on my face, select the gray bell, select all. You'll be subscribed to my channel and you'll be notified to all the new content that I place up here to YouTube. And over here, I'm going to put the playlist for this series. You can change. You have the power to change your life. And then taking full responsibility for your life was the last series that I did. I'm going to put that up there as well. And because I didn't mention the whole thing about being bipolar and swinging and everything, I'm going to put over here underneath my my face, I'm going to put my bipolar journey. Put that series there as well. So that way, if you know anyone with a mental illness, or you have a mental illness, or you just want to understand a little bit more about what bipolar is, I kind of tell the story through my life and things that I have gone through and how I got diagnosed. That's my bipolar journey, and you can click on that. So thanks for hanging out with me. I always love chatting with my dreamers. Have a great day, dreamers.